All right, let's look at number 14 from the SOAP exam practice packet. And again, I encourage you to push pause and try to solve this on your own first, then come back and look at the solution. So an insurer offers a health plan to the employees of a large company. As part of this plan, the individual employees may choose exactly 2 of the supplementary coverages A, B, and C, or they may choose no supplementary coverage. That means they won't choose all 3, or they won't choose just 1. They choose exactly 2 or none. That's what that says. The proportions of the company's employees that choose coverages A, B, and C are 1/4, 1/3, and 5/12 respectively. What are we actually looking for? The probability that a randomly chosen employee will choose none. All right, let's organize this information because there's a lot of it. I have 3 events here, so I'm going to create a Venn diagram. Sometimes charts are what I want, sometimes trees, and sometimes Venn diagrams. So this will represent A, that'll represent B. Now that 1/4, 1/3, and 5/12 tells us the entirety of each of those circles, right? So the circle of A is 1/4, the entire circle of B is 1/3, and the entire circle of C is 5/12. Okay, we know some other stuff. Remember what I said, that they can either do exactly 2 or none. That means they can't choose exactly 1. So in the parts that is just A, just B, and just C, there's none, because that's not an option. Similarly, all 3, A, B, and C, they can't do that, so we'll say there's 0 there as well. They can choose exactly 2, so those are some unknown values. We'll just place some X, Y, and Z here, and they can choose none, so we'll say that's T. Now we have our picture organized in all the disjoint pieces. And one thing we know is that if we add up all the disjoint pieces, X plus Y plus Z plus T, we get 1. All right, what else do we know? We know that X plus Y is equal to A, which is 1/4. Probability of A. We know that Y plus Z is the probability of B, so that's 1/3. And lastly, X plus Z is the probability of C, and that is 5/12. So here we have our 3 equations and 3 unknowns, so we have enough to solve this system. So I'm going to combine, let's see here, right here. This will say is 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to combine 1 and 3, add those or subtract them. So X plus Y equals 1/4, and then minus X plus Z equals to 5/12. So then we end up with no X's. Y minus Z equals 1/4 minus 5/12. We just got to do a little common denominator. So 1/4 is really 3/12. So when we combine that, we get a negative 2/12 or a negative 1/6. So Y is equal to Z minus 1/6. All right, now I'm going to go into equation 2 here and replace my Y with my new expression in terms of Z. So instead of Y plus Z, I'm going to write Z minus 1/6 plus Z equals 1/3. That's using equation 2 here, replacing the Y with Z minus 1/6. So now we can have enough to solve for Z. So 2Z is equal to 1/3 plus 1/6. Again, we're going to have the 12ths, so that's 4/12 plus 2/12, or 6/12, or 1/2. So 2Z is 1/2. That tells me that Z is 1/4. I've found my first unknown. I'm going to go back into this equation now to figure out what Y is. So Y is equal to Z, which is 1/4 minus 1/6. Again with the 12ths. So that's 3/12 minus 2/12, or 1/12. So our Y is equal to 1/12. Now we're going to go back into that first equation and solve for X. So X is equal to 1/4 minus Y, so 1/4 minus 1/12. So that's going to be 3/12 minus 1/12, which is 2/12, or 1/6. So I have X is 1/6, Y is 1/12, and Z is 1/4. And now we go into our last equation here because we're in search of T, the no coverage, and we have enough to solve for that. So 1/6 plus 1/12 plus 1/4 plus T equals 1. Again with the 12s. So 2/12 plus 1/12 plus 3/12 plus T equals 1. This becomes 6/12, or T is equal to 1 minus 6/12, which is 6/12, or 1/2. 1/2 is our answer. C. Did you get it?